Hello, everyone. Once upon a time, long before the United States became a global superpower, the vast land that would one day be known as America was inhabited by diverse Native American tribes, each with its own rich cultural heritage. These indigenous people had cultivated the land for thousands of years, shaping the landscape with their traditions, languages, and customs. In the early 17th century, European settlers began to arrive on the shores of North America. The first successful English colony was established in 1607 at Jamestown, Virginia. As more settlers arrived, tensions between the newcomers and Native Americans escalated, leading to conflicts over land and resources. The Pilgrims, seeking religious freedom, arrived on the Mayflower in 1620 and established the Plymouth Colony in present-day Massachusetts. This marked the beginning of the Puritan migration to the New World, which played a crucial role in shaping the cultural and political landscape of the future United States. Over time, the 13 British colonies along the eastern seaboard grew both in population and in a desire for self-governance. However, the British government sought to tighten its control, imposing taxes and regulations on the colonies. This led to growing discontent and, eventually, the outbreak of the American Revolution in 1775. In 1776, the Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence, a bold assertion of the colonies' right to govern themselves. The Revolutionary War ensued, and against all odds, the fledgling United States, led by figures like George Washington, secured a victory against the mighty British Empire in 1783. The newly independent nation faced the formidable task of establishing a system of government. In 1787, the Constitutional Convention convened in Philadelphia to draft a new constitution. The resulting document, the United States Constitution, created a federal system with a balance of powers between the three branches of government. In 1789, George Washington was inaugurated as the first president of the United States, and the nation embarked on a journey of nation-building. The early years of the Republic were marked by debates over the role of the federal government, the establishment of political parties, and westward expansion. Thomas Jefferson's Louisiana Purchase in 1803 doubled the size of the young nation, opening up vast territories for settlement and exploration. Lewis and Clark embarked on their famous expedition to explore the newly acquired lands, further expanding the understanding of the continent. The issue of slavery, however, cast a dark shadow over the nation's growth. As the country expanded westward, conflicts over the expansion of slavery intensified. The Missouri Compromise, the Compromise of 1850, and the Kansas-Nebraska Act were attempts to address the issue, but only delayed the inevitable. Tensions reached a boiling point with the election of Abraham Lincoln in 1860. Southern states seceded from the Union, leading to the Civil War, 1861-1865, a brutal conflict that tested the nation's commitment to the principles of freedom and equality. The Emancipation Proclamation in 1863 declared slaves in Confederate states to be free, and the Union emerged victorious in 1865. The post-Civil War era, known as Reconstruction, sought to rebuild the South and address the challenges of integrating formerly enslaved individuals into society. However, Reconstruction faced resistance, and the era ended with the withdrawal of federal troops from the South, ushering in the era of Jim Crow laws and racial segregation. As the 19th century progressed, the United States underwent rapid industrialization, transforming into an economic powerhouse. The Transcontinental Railroad, the expansion of telegraph lines, and technological innovations fueled economic growth and westward expansion. The Gilded Age was marked by both unprecedented wealth and stark inequality. The early 20th century saw the United States asserting itself on the world stage. The Spanish-American War in 1898 led to the acquisition of territories such as Puerto Rico and the Philippines. World War I, 1914-1918, further solidified the nation's global influence, and President Woodrow Wilson championed the League of Nations, an early attempt at international cooperation. The 1920s, known as the Roaring Twenties, were characterized by economic prosperity, cultural dynamism, and the rise of consumerism. However, the Great Depression of the 1930s brought widespread unemployment and economic hardship. Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal programs aimed to alleviate suffering and stimulate recovery. The attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941 thrust the United States into World War II. The nation mobilized its resources, and the war effort played a pivotal role in pulling the country out of the Great Depression. The United States, alongside its allies, emerged victorious in 1945, having played a crucial role in shaping the post-war world order. The second half of the 20th century was marked by the Cold War, a geopolitical struggle between the United States and the Soviet Union. The two superpowers engaged in a global competition for influence, leading to events such as the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. The civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s sought to dismantle racial segregation and discrimination. Figures like Martin Luther King Jr. advocated for equal rights, and landmark legislation, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, aimed to address systemic racism. The late 20th century witnessed significant social and cultural changes. The feminist movement advocated for women's rights, and the counterculture of the 1960s challenged traditional norms. Advances in technology, including the rise of the Internet, transformed communication and the economy. The end of the Cold War in 1991 marked the collapse of the Soviet Union and the emergence of the United States as the world's sole superpower. The 21st century brought new challenges, including the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001, leading to the War on Terror and military engagements in Afghanistan and Iraq. The election of Barack Obama in 2008 marked a historic moment as the first African-American president. His presidency focused on issues such as healthcare reform and economic recovery. However, political polarization deepened, leading to contentious debates on immigration, healthcare, and social issues. In 2016, the election of Donald Trump as the 45th president brought a wave of populist sentiment. His presidency was marked by controversies, including the impeachment proceedings. The 2020 election saw Joe Biden elected as the 46th president, emphasizing unity and addressing pressing issues such as the COVID-19 pandemic and climate change. As the United States entered its fourth century, it continued to grapple with its complex history and diverse identity. From the struggles of the past to the challenges of the present, the nation remained a beacon of democracy, constantly evolving and shaping its destiny on the world stage. The story of the United States is a tale of resilience, progress, and the enduring pursuit of a more perfect union. Thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more tutorial videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.